good, family? Today is 3/1/2019. Blessed and highly favored to be able to see another day. I am volunteering today with Restoration Bridge International, going and pick up food so we can bring it back here to the warehouse and sort it. Just want to do a quick little recording to remind the people that we're doing a fundraiser for a van. There's the truck there, one of the trucks. There's a high top van. I believe that's what they're trying to do the fundraiser for. I keep saying them because I'm with them, but I'm seasonal. There's a high top van there. There's another low van here. The old Lincoln. That's what I'm driving, Uncle Willard. It's another low van. I think one of these vans are in bad shape. And then there's another truck there. So two big trucks, two little vans, and one high top van. And as you can see, this dock. Hello, my name is Sean Henry Scott Sr., and I volunteer as a driver, a helper, a loader, or unloader for Restoration Bridge International. And I put together this little video just to give you an opportunity to see the day in the life of a driver and a driver's helper. Volunteering is one of the best things you can possibly ever do, but you want to make sure you're volunteering for something that's really needed. And I can say, for example, what you will see in this video, that Restoration Bridge International is one of the best places if you're in South Florida to volunteer. As you can see here, we drive. After we pick up the trucks from the dock and the warehouse in the morning, we drive to locations, the various store locations, and pick up the food. And then we go to the dock and we ring the back door, and then we take a cart and get the food that's being donated to the ministry. Then as you can see, we take the cart and we push it back and forth to the truck until the items are all loaded, and we move on to the next location. In best case scenarios, we have a driver and a helper, but sometimes because there's not enough volunteers, sometimes it's just a driver. And as you will see, it can get pretty difficult if you're just by yourself and you have 5 or 6 stores to pick up from, because if you have to put the boxes up and you don't get to the dock, you have to load them up and then you have to put them on the pallets inside the truck. So it's very good to have not only a driver but also a helper. Like I said, this is just a little video to give you an idea of the work that's involved with volunteering as a driver as well as a helper. Also, if you're interested, it's very helpful if you have a CDL for the bigger trucks. Where the CDL is not necessarily required for the vans, the high top vans, or the regular top vans. But it's very important that, obviously, with the ministry and you're volunteering, that you're very careful in doing the things that you're doing, because we don't ever want to get any accidents or have any problems concerning picking up the donations and bringing them back to the warehouse. It's also very important that you be in the best physical possible shape you can be. Sometimes people ask me, why do I work out? I will be 50 by the grace of God in April, and I work out as if I still play sports. I'm an ex-boxer and an ex-football player, but now I work out and stay in shape for ministry. I don't just preach the gospel 2 times a week online, but I also volunteer at ministries that require me to be in physical condition. And I thank God for that. I want to be as much help as I can be as I'm here, living on earth. As you can see, we carry the items back and forth to the trucks, and we load them until the truck is completely full. Sometimes the stores, we never really know actually what they're going to be donating. So sometimes the trucks will be full, and sometimes they won't. And sometimes we have to call and ask for another truck to come or another van to come and pick up items that we're not able to get. But we like to get the trucks as full as humanly possible to cut down on having to use up a lot of gas. Once again, this is a 501c ministry, and they operate from donations. No one gets paid, and so therefore we need to put gas in all the vehicles. They have to be insured, and we have to make sure that we're able to go back and forth without the vehicles breaking down. So you can see here in the video, I'm on my way either to a store or back to the warehouse to where we'll unload the items. And once we unload them, they'll get sorted, The things that need to be going in the freezer, such as meats and dairy items, will have to go in the freezer. And then the bread has to go where the bread has to go. The dry goods have to go where the dry goods go. So it's very important to understand that even when you're loading the trucks, that you put the items on particular skids. You don't just put them on any skid. The meats go with the meats, the produce go with the produce, and the breads go in bags with the breads, and the sweets go where the sweets go. Because when you get back to the dock, as you'll see here shortly, you'll see how important it is that when you're unloading it, it'll make it easy for the dock workers. Now here we're pulling into where the warehouse is off of Lantana Road. If you search in Google Mecca Foods or Family Farm Foods, I believe it'll come up and give you the exact address. But we're pulling into the warehouse. It's around back here. That's what was given to the Ministry of Restoration Bridge International to use. It was donated to them for their use. So we're able to use this dock to unload the trucks, and you'll see actually there will be 2 vans and this truck being unloaded at the same time, as well as a ministry picking up. It was 2 vehicles there picking up at the same time I was shooting this video. So once again, this is just to give you an idea of the operations from the vantage point of the driver as well as the helper. A 2-man team going out picking up. And I believe that's what they desire to do, is send people out by 2 so the work isn't too hard on one individual. So the more help they got, even if you could only volunteer one day for a few hours, that's a huge help. As you can see there's a van being unloaded, and there are people that come and get community service hours, and they volunteer on the dock to get their community service hours. Also, churches bring youth departments out, or young adults, or anybody who wants to volunteer and help unload the truck. So we back the truck up to the dock at the warehouse, and we unload the skids accordingly. We have pallet jacks, as you see, and we put that dock plate up to the truck, and we unload everything we picked up from the stores and bring the skids out, and the skids will get sorted and things will go where they belong. This process is very important because even though we get the items from the stores, we want to make sure that they're in their best condition. When we get them from the store, everything is completely edible. I want to make that clear, because some people think because they're getting stuff from pantries that the food is no good. That is not the case. Sometimes, actually, when you get stuff from the stores, it's just as good as what people are buying is getting firsthand, because the stores have ordered too much, and they need to they don't have no place to put them. So there are times that we'll get stuff that's, and it's perfectly good. I can vouch for it. I've been eating from pantry food for over 25 years. I volunteered at a pantry in Ohio, in West Virginia, and now in Florida. In this season, 2015, I volunteered at one, and now I'm at Restoration Bridge International helping them out. I've been at Feeding South Florida and also Valley of Love. So this is just something that I've made a part of my life in serving. So as you can see here, we're unloading the truck, and we get everything a store sells. We get, they need to get rid of everything. They can't. The shelves got to keep being replenished with fresh and new things. So therefore, they give things out as donations. Some of the people that I've noticed that come and volunteer at Restoration Bridge International are snowbirds like myself. There's at least 3 or 4 other people that are snowbirds, and that means they come in the wintertime and they leave in the summer, or in my case, towards the end of spring, summer. And that's good and bad. It's good because that Restoration Bridge gets to help, but it's bad because when we leave, there's going to be a huge hole. So if there's any interest that you may have in volunteering, please contact the ministry in helping out, especially in the summer months. As you can see here, we're still unloading the trucks. The volunteers come, and like I said, it's almost better that the driver and the helper unloads the trucks, because we know exactly how we loaded the trucks and what's on the truck, so we can tell the dock workers and the helpers there what each skid contains on it. If it's a mixed skid, or if it's just a whole skid of produce, a whole skid of meat, a whole skid or whatever, so we can easily put it where it goes without us having to sort it. So volunteers, it's very important that communication is used between the volunteers to make everybody's jobs easier. So we move the dock plate from left to right depending on where the skid is, and sometimes we're able to put it in the middle of the truck. This particular time we had to go from left to right because the truck was completely full, so we had to pull from the left side and the right side. So as you can see, there are many things that's needed in the ministry still. One day we hope to have a dock of their own, a ministry with a dock completely actually on it. I honestly see a place that's big enough to house a ministry as well as a dock. The back part of the ministry and church being a place for the trucks to do this type of work in a warehouse, as well as a sanctuary. I don't believe there's no reason why in this day and age why we can't have a fellowship as well as a food pantry, as well as some other services that we need in our daily life. I mean, everybody eats, everybody has to get their hair done, everybody shop for clothes. There's no reason why the ministry can't supply and offer these services. Not necessarily our ministry, but I'm saying a ministry in whole. And as you can also see, we can use some donations for some electric pallet jacks. I don't mind, the physical labor. At least right now I don't, but I could, you can definitely feel it sometimes when you have to push those pallet jacks up and down the trucks. And we go on some docks and they have electric pallet jacks, and they just zip in and zip out, and it makes it easier on people in their back. You don't want nobody to get hurt. As you can see, there's a high top van and also a regular size van also being unloaded at the same time. So 3 vehicles are being unloaded right now at the exact same time. And everybody's working really hard to get these things unloaded, get the food sorted, and so we can distribute the food. Now, today is Friday that this was going on, so we're also putting food to the side, because every week from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. the ministry distributes food at the Community of Hope right now at 2341 South Military Trail. You can sign up and you can come and get food. They feed over 600 families every week at the Community of Hope. And one thing any truck or driver or helper loves to see is the last load coming off. And that's what you see right now. And that whole skid is a whole skid full of meat that's going to be put where it's supposed to go. And the truck is finally empty. So we started out the day with an empty truck, and we went and filled it up. So at the end of the day, and the end of the week, somebody's stomach would not be empty. I get great pleasure and joy out of seeing an empty truck, because an empty truck means a full stomach. I mean, somebody's going to get fed, and there I am going into the truck. I'm excited that the truck is empty, and the vans are being emptied, and things are being sorted. So that way, as you can see, once again, there's an empty truck. The truck was full. We went to, I believe, 5 or 6 stores, 6 stores, I believe, total, and filled the truck completely up with donations. And we came back and we emptied the truck, and the sorters are sorting the things as we empty them. Everybody works pretty fast, I will say that. They're very organized and clean. As you can see, that last skid has to get by there. I have to wait till those trucks are moved before that last skid can be pushed where it needs to go. And as you can see, they're all sorting and working to get things done efficiently. And here's our hardest worker of the day, our employee of the year right there. But yeah, contact restorationbridge.com or Restoration Bridge International and see how it is that you can volunteer and help out. Your help is needed.